A wise man once told me, if you do it once, you can do it again and again and again. If you have a goal, then you need to do some serious work. It's like people make these giant goals and expect it to come with a degree and an interview. But it's more than that. It's a lot more than that. It goes back to the small things before the big things are even available. Like, you have a lot to take care of before you can even look at your goal. Because if you can't get yourself to keep your room clean or work out consistently or wake up consistently or whatever it is that you're struggling with, then you can't do anything larger. Growing up, I've never accepted the standard way of living. Going to school, coming home, eating dinner, doing my homework and going to sleep, that was so boring to me, never satisfied me. My schedule entailed little increments of tasks in between the time everyone else wasted watching TV, going to parties, getting drunk, doing drugs, being average. My nights demanded knowledge. I lost hours of sleep researching ways to obtain traits I was missing so that I can conquer more than I was previously capable of defeating. I wanted to deal with all types of people. It wasn't easy, but I worked at it, and I do, every single day. It's possible. Dig through your soul and find your goal. You gotta know it's your purpose and start focusing on the small things that you can't accomplish and realize that they will affect the bigger picture. Your work ethic has to become indestructible. You can't stop working towards what you want because of the things around you. You have to just keep moving forward. Let nothing stop you. I'm so focused on tasks that are so irrelevant to my goal that nobody can even see my success. I look like I'm doing nothing. Little do people know I'm doing everything. It's like invisible success. You have to fall in love with your growth. You ever have that one person back from high school who looked like they were going nowhere and all of a sudden they're making some serious moves and in a high successful zone? You're like, wait, how did that guy even get there? Well, I'm gonna tell you how. It's because those invisible little tasks that they corrected before jumping into success. You can't throw a child in a pool if they don't first learn how to move, crawl, walk, and run. Although crawling seems irrelevant to swimming, it's not. Those small tasks are the foundation of endurance for swimming, as small tasks are to success. It's like, people ask me, how can I be rich? And I'm like, well, does your room look clean? Do you work out? I usually tell those people to run a mile every day for the next 3 months consistently at 7 a.m. and then ask me how they feel and what has changed. Success is not one big achievement overnight. It's like a million minuscule tasks that accumulate over the years. Positive choices that lead you down the right path. Constant failure after failure leading you to growth. Pain. But I once read something one day, and it stated that at the end of a tunnel is light, and that light is not an illusion, but the tunnel is. And you have to really let that sink in, because most people stop what they're doing for the tunnel. But it's not real, because the longer the tunnel, the darker the tunnel. And the darker the tunnel, the larger and brighter the light. So you have to embrace that pain and actually really learn to love that pain. It becomes fun after a while. If you want to succeed in something, you have to understand one thing. Everything you do reflects how and if you will succeed. Whether it's what you eat when you wake up, how you work out, how you treat people, how you fold your clothes, if you iron them or not, it's all the same test that shows your level of success. Success consists of tiny tests that will tell you whether you are close or far. But if you can't even pass those tiny tests, don't even touch the bigger process, because once you compete with the one that passed the smaller tests, even if you pass the larger one, you will not stand a chance. It's like a person who's fighting for a black belt. You can pass all the tests that require a black belt, but if you compete with someone who's been through white, yellow, orange, green, blue, purple, brown, and then achieved black, their endurance will conquer yours. Instant gratification is not where you find success. You have to take each step up. A black belt will be able to conquer any belt beforehand, and the same goes with successful people. They go through the worst to get to where they are, so that when the difficult pressure comes their way, they already know how to defeat it. Train your endurance. Do whatever you have to do to achieve these consistent goals. If you have to work out and meditate at 3 a.m. just to stay consistent, do it. And when you work out and your brain tells you not to finish your last set, push through. Teach your brain that its endurance is off, and then the next time your brain receives that signal, endurance will grow again and again and again. And that's what success really is. It's really quiet. Nobody can see it. If you want to succeed, you have to literally fight nature. That's the only way to grow. I don't care if you cry. I don't care if you throw up. I don't care what you do. Fight human nature. You have to tear your comfort and let it grow back different and stronger. It's like a muscle when you work out. You have to tear the muscle for it to grow back strong. And everything in life works this way. Everything in life connects. The way you do one thing determines the way you will do everything. If your brain tells you to yell at someone, do the opposite. The growth will be incredible because it literally confuses your brain and leaves you in control. Your brain will stay mediocre until you fight it. That's the difference between the 1% of the world succeeding. They fight nature and understand how to control their lives. After years of fighting my own thoughts, I have succeeded in so much more than I ever imagined. If your brain says to skip the gym, don't. If your brain says sleep more, don't. If your brain says speed on the highway, do not do it. And if your brain says smoke one last cigarette, don't. Your brain can be punishing and will give in to negative influence if you don't learn how to control it. If you don't learn how to control your brain, you are literally screwed. Your brain just wants to be told how to live and how to reproduce. That's all it really wants. If you want more than that, fight human nature. If you give into that mediocre lifestyle, you will never succeed because that's what your brain wants. No wonder why only 1% of the population holds top success and wealth. Because they didn't feed into that normal way of living. They fought human nature. What you can do only once now, you will do 1,000 times later through resisting human nature and instant gratification. Don't give into that. It's fake. Everyone in this life has a bigger purpose that gives us true love for life and will encourage you to go through each belt to get the black. Whatever that is, cherish it. Spend so much time on your goal that your time is infinite. Fight human nature. Like, you want to succeed, but you're spending 2 hours a day watching TV. That's a month of a year over time, and you want to succeed? Fight that urge. It's so small, but it will change so much to just stop listening to what your brain forces you to do. You're not a robot. Fight through. And even if it's something that kills you, get through it. Because the worst will take you to the best. And if you don't have the best, it's only because you haven't been through the worst. It's like when you sacrifice for someone you love. Only then do you grow more and more love for them because of the work and pain you went through for them. If everything was given to you, it would be too easy. Easy come, easy go. Or like a person who thinks they succeeded by winning the lottery and then ends up in suicide statistics or bankrupt statistics because they didn't work for it and had zero endurance and knowledge on how to deal with the consequences. Why do you want an easy life? There is no meaning behind what you don't work for. So if you want the best love, the best success, or the best work ethic, work disgustingly hard for it. There is no other way to get the best of everything other than working hard and fighting human nature. Before you begin, succeed in the small. Conquer the easy, or else you will fall. Understand that by mastering the minor, all else comes out finer. And if you want to succeed, you must plant yourself a seed, one which over time you must water and feed. These small achievements will affect your success. The work and effort in the end will be less. When it's time for the bigger challenge to defeat, you will conquer because the smaller ones are easy and remain on repeat. If you have a goal, then you need to do some serious work. Because a wise man once told me, if I did it once, I can do it again and again and again.